My name is Jack Clark. I'm a tour guide, seamoss farmer, and a beekeeper.
Hello, I'm Keenan Flavia. I'm a seamoss farmer, and I've been doing this for like 8 months now.
I have been working in the Makote area for about 20 years, within Pocepa area for 20 years. Pocepa is 1,038 hectares of marine and terrestrial area with the three offshore islands, which is Maria, Minor, Major, and Scorpion Island, and the biggest piece of mangrove in the Eastern Caribbean. Our livelihood is important because that is where we feed our family and actually can maintain ourselves sustainably. Our livelihoods benefit other people where we could actually employ people with what we do, actually help our family, help friends, assist other persons with what we do, because actually we have a sustainable income out of what we do. So we can actually teach people to get into what we do.
Seamoss produces 92 minerals out of the 102 minerals that your body needs. It's also very profitable. It's also good for the body. So while we do make to sell out, we also do drink it and put it in our body. You could use it for hair gel, your skin, and the list goes on.
Our livelihoods benefit the environment because one, actually as a seamoss farmer, you actually create a nursery for juvenile fish crustacean. So actually you create a home for them. So that is part one, you could actually help the marine ecosystem. Secondly, as a beekeeper, you help pollinate a lot of the flowers, and actually having bees into the mangrove can actually help the pollination of the mangrove to actually strive sustainably on its own.
The main threat to my livelihood is just that sometimes your seamoss is not safe because you leave after a long day of work, you come back the next day, you find out some of your seamoss is missing. It's just tough because you can't control it. You're not going to stay by the beach all day or all night. We had a conversation about some securities, but I'm not sure how that, getting along. Having a security by the beach, I think that's one of the best things we could do, so our seamoss and our stuff could be safe.
And actually, we have a lot of people that drop garbage dispose into the mangrove. If the mangrove die back, it is all our livelihoods is affected because you have one, the mangrove is the one that is protecting the shoreline. So if you have no shoreline, then your seamoss farm is gone. Actually, if you lose the mangrove, you lose a lot of the marine ecosystem because they work together. If you lose one, that means you lose all. So one cannot work without the next one. The way we actually deal with the threats, we actually try and educate people the importance of what we do and why we do it. Actually, right now we're running a nursery on certain projects to actually restore areas of the mangrove that is under threat. We actually go out there within the 70 acres of mangrove, see where in the area that need restoration, especially dieback area, and then we actually collect the seeds, germinate it within the nursery area, and then we replant them areas back to actually sustainable, to help it sustain itself. So we actually give it a start so that then let it go through. But we also monitor it on a daily basis to see the progress of the areas that we actually restoring. This is our mangrove nursery. This is Mr. Michael Sangado. He works taking care of the nursery. So actually we collecting seeds from mangrove. This is the red mangrove. And actually we germinate them in this area and put them into the bags and to bring them into different areas that need restoration. So actually now we are germinating 3 different species. So this is the red, and we have the black and the white to the back. One of the things that will make it easier is like for the government to demarc the area and actually let the general public know about the protected area, because there is a lot of important things in the protected area. They should actually introduce what is there into the school's curriculum and actually teach it into the schools, because there is a lot of important things that we have within the protected areas that the general public does not know about. So we need to take this information out and have the government assist us in here actually to take this information. We can't wait on social media alone and say that it will go out to the general public, because it's not everybody that actually follow environmental page on social media. So if you actually take it back and leave it, go it like maybe a school, every day you have a different set of schools that come to the mangrove, come to Pocepa, visit Pocepa and see what is in Pocepa, and then they will actually value what is at Pocepa. Because there is a saying, tell me I will know, show me I will see, but involve me I will understand. So unless you're not involving the general public into the protected area, they will not understand the value of the protected area.